The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is time for another edition of Mick Shots. I'm going to fix my microphone to make sure we're not overmodulating here. And there we go. And Mickey Spagnola almost said something that you may want to hear, but Mickey does not want you to hear on Mick Shots as we get started. As we pull back the curtain as we get started on a Wednesday. Oh, okay, Chris Beam, our producer, had it under control. And he makes sure he knows when to turn up Mickey's mic and when to pot it down. Hey, look who's back today. Everson's here.
Oh, baby, I'm ready now. Renewed vigor. I'm ready.
It's a brief
Mickey,
appearance,
you're there
though.
inside. Ever so brief. That's right. He's making a cameo appearance this week. As we'll tell you about that as we go along tomorrow's show. But we got to get through today's show first, Mickey, inside the SWBC Mortgage Studio there at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, where there are football players on the premises today.
Yes, football players doing football work out here. Actually practiced outdoors today, so. The weather didn't scare them away, and they got in about an hour and a half practice.
All right. First time in a while that the players have been out there on the practice field. Have you done, let's see, they would have been before the Thanksgiving Day game.
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Which is unlike the Cowboys' next opponent, the Baltimore Ravens, who last practiced the Friday before their last game, which was a week ago Sunday. So it's been, and they are within an hour kicking off against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Cannot believe
Twitter.
that.
I'm checking Twitter as we go along to make sure they're still on to play.
I'm good. I have football on a Wednesday afternoon. This is the best thing in the world to me. And it's an ugly day outside, too. This is great, man. This was ordered just for me and my household.
There you go. That's exactly right. And plus, it's you can scout the Cowboys' next opponent, so you're doing prep work for Mick Shots even after we get off the air this afternoon.
That he'll use on Monday,
prep work?
right? Yeah.
That's right. Okay, you want to go ahead and tell us what the schedule is for tomorrow? Because I cannot be here. I've got a conflict, and Everson does as well.
So we're going to come in with a kind of an, I don't know if I should say it's an all-star crew or a pickup crew. But
no, you better not say that. No.
It's a pickup crew, right?
No, we are the all-star crew here, so
okay.
Let's just clarify that.
Well, it'll be myself, Nate Newton stepping in again on Mick Shots. See, I think he wants to be on Mick Shots, tell you the truth. And
that's what it is.
Our
That's
special
exactly
guest will be the voice of the Cowboys, Brad Sham, will be joining us. So, and then we don't have a show on Friday. So we will reconvene here as a group on Monday. It'll be of game week, right? Day before.
When is game day?
Game day is Tuesday. Yeah,
that's a great. That's a great question.
That's a short
right now. It's scheduled for Tuesday.
Right. Right now, you never can count on things. You never know. But I did see where Baltimore successfully got on their airplane and was going to Pittsburgh. And they didn't have anybody test positive today so far. But I assume they all tested before they got on the plane. So that was a good news for Baltimore.
They had 2 tested positive yesterday,
But
right?
yesterday they did, yes. And then Pittsburgh, their starting center, Maurice Pouncey, tested positive this morning. So he won't be playing in the game.
Yep. Maurice Pouncey is out. And so I mean, that's a last-minute deal. I'm looking over here at NFL Network. They've got their pregame going, and it looks like a beautiful day for football there. In Everson, you got the rest of your day lined up because you've got football starting at 2:30 right after Mick Shots, and then you get to watch the Christmas tree lighting at Rockefeller Center tonight.
Hell yeah.
It starts at 7 o'clock.
I'll have the eggnog ready with that one.
That's right. And that is why they're playing in the afternoon, because NBC decided they cannot preempt the tree lighting at Rockefeller Center. So they're playing Wednesday afternoon football.
Alongside that, they didn't trust if the Ravens are going to do right. You know, they didn't want to hang their hats on a game that's been moved, 2 or 3 times already. So they said, you know what, we're going to go with a sure thing. The tree is going to be there. We don't know about the football team.
So you know what? This doesn't happen, I bet, too often. But the Dallas Cowboys, after they finished their practice already and finished their meetings, their afternoon prep work for the game is watching the game this afternoon here at the Ford Center. So they will
their popcorn ready right now.
That's right. I bet you never had a team meeting that you watched the game when you were playing, but they decided that since they've got so many days to prepare for the game, that they would use this to and my understanding is they're going to watch it from their position groups, so not everybody together in one spot. They'll go into the position group meetings.
See, everyone needs to be together.
No,
and then they can have
in these
popcorn.
day and age, you don't need to be together.
Popcorn,
or
beer,
sharing
hot
popcorn.
chocolate. You want to have some stuff, man. This is like going to a theater or something. Like being at camp, right? This is what this is about.
Maybe they
can have that kind of feel, and you could enjoy the session.
Maybe they'll open the concession stands in the Ford Center.
And, of course, it happens a lot where you get an opportunity, like when you have your bye week and the team that you're going to be playing next doesn't have the same bye week that you have. And so, like on a Sunday on your bye week, you could sit there and watch the game, but you're not going to do it as a team together because you're off on your own on a bye week. The other difference here is, as Mike McCarthy pointed out in his press conference this morning, is they've already done a couple of days of work on the Ravens, and so this is what makes this unique. Is now they've done some work there and the advanced scouting reports on, and also try to figure out who might be available for the Ravens next week. And now, as a team, they can sit down and watch that team play live, and so that's what makes this unique over
and not
maybe
to
a bye week
mention
in the
the
past.
extra preparation time as well.
Yeah, because they would have had their virtual meeting yesterday. Remember, they couldn't come in on Monday and Tuesday, but they met. And it sounded like Mike talked about we did our installations already, and then they'll continue today, and then they'll watch the game, and then tomorrow is the memorial service for Marcus Paul. Now they're having it at a church with the family, close friends. And the Cowboys as a team will watch that virtually from here at the Star. So they'll be somewhat a part of it, and they'll be able to go through the memorial service, but from afar, as we've come to know in this 2020 year.
Yeah, with the COVID restrictions, they can only have so many people in the church for the service.
So in regards to the Baltimore game, I mean, Cowboys could take advantage of this extra preparation time, right? They're supposed to be playing them by the schedule. They're supposed to be playing them tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
By the schedule.
Yeah. That's right.
But now they get extra days to prepare for them. Now, having said that, watching this game, I don't believe Lamar Jackson is going to play. Is that correct?
Today.
That's my understanding today.
Yes, today.
Yeah. The problem for the Cowboys is
prepping for them without Lamar in the game, as you watch today's game. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt them in regards to the prep, because they're going to be a completely different team with a different quarterback, because there is no other beast like the unicorn in Lamar Jackson.
Well, and the other part of it is that had the game been, let's say they had just postponed the Steelers game to another week or canceled it, and the Cowboys and Ravens played on Thursday, then they would not be facing Lamar Jackson, and now it looks like they will be facing Lamar Jackson when they play on Tuesday.
Although, Bill, if he plays, though, he's not going to have much practice time, I don't think, to prepare.
The whole team's not having much practice
because they won't have 10.
I mean,
his 10 days aren't up until later in the week, right, or almost till the game day for Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yeah. But they'll have.
But
they're playing today, so it's only like playing a Saturday game, right? Because then they're going to play on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. And then, as I went off yesterday, Everson, they get to play their next game on Monday night, while the Cowboys have to play on a short week, traveling from the East Coast on Sunday.
Yes.
And you lose Wednesday.
That's what we talked about in the email.
Yeah, you lose Wednesday, and then they don't get the extra day to practice like Baltimore does, and they're the ones that cause this problem. So go figure.
They have to be the most infected team so far, right?
It sure looks that way. And this has been going on for several weeks with them.
And that's including the staff, not just the players, but that's including the staff.
Right, absolutely. So, yeah.
Right, and you figure, that this is an advantage for the Cowboys. Knock on wood, the Cowboys don't have an issue arise. The Cowboys have extra time to prepare. It's going to be this will be the. They'll have 11 days in between games, playing on Tuesday now, and the bulk of this time all spent preparing for the Ravens, while the Ravens haven't been on the practice field at all, even before what would have been their scheduled game on Thursday, and even since then, preparing even for the Steelers. And who knows if their practice facility is going to be open for them even this weekend because of the number of cases they're still dealing with. And so if ever the Cowboys had an opportunity to go on the road, and the other part of it, and we can get into this as we go along here, if you look at the issues that the Ravens have had on their offensive line, even not in regard to COVID, but injury issues. They lost Ronnie Stanley, their left tackle, just like the Cowboys lost theirs. They're piecing it together. I mean, even going back to the offseason when Marshall Yanda is out, just like Travis Frederick for the Cowboys. It's not the same Ravens team that took the field last year, even from a personnel standpoint, even without all the COVID stuff. And so, their weapons on offense have proven not to be as capable, which is why they signed Dez Bryant a month ago.
Yeah,
and that's what I picked for my Super Bowl team. So that seems to be tanked right now. They haven't played well at all this year in regards to living up to their expectations. So my AFC Super Bowl team is not looking good. Hell, for that matter, neither is my NFC Super Bowl team looking good. So we'll see.
So this will be the first time. This will be the first time, assuming Dez is active for the game against Baltimore, that the Cowboys have to face one of their number 88s, right? Michael finished his career there.
Is he wearing 88?
No, I don't know if
he is wearing 88.
I don't think. I saw him play, and I don't recall if he had 88 or not. But he is 88. So, Drew Pearson finished his career with the Cowboys. Michael Irvin finished his career with the Cowboys. We thought Dez finished his. And now you'll have two 88s on the field with CeeDee Lamb wearing 88 going up against the third 88. Just a little trivia there, that's all.
Well, when you talk about Dez, I know you guys saw his workouts in the offseason. I don't know if you did see them, but he was all over Facebook. He's supposed to be social distancing. Dez never paid not one iota to social distancing while that was going on, and that was in the very early stages. His whole thing was, I'm getting back to the NFL. He was out there running routes, and then everyone was saying, well, you're just running against air. So, who are you going to go against? So then he found some defensive back who was willing to risk his life as well with COVID to go out there and guard him. And so, he had it together. It has worked out for both of them. Thank God that, nothing serious happened to them. But in regards to his drive, I had to admire, what he was going through, because coming off of an Achilles injury, I think he was at the time close to 30. That is a tough deal. And he looked pretty good through those practices and workouts, and he also looked pretty good in the ball game. So I'm happy for Dez. And I mean, come on, I don't know. I think all Cowboy fans really hated to see how it ended here in Dallas. So just good to see him hook up with somebody else.
See, that would have been the 2018 season. About this time of the year in 2018, it was late November probably, when he signed with the Saints. In the first practice, he tears his Achilles. And he just turned 32 a little less than a month ago, so he would have just turned 30 at that point. And so when you think about it, especially at that age and playing that position, realistically coming off an Achilles last year, it was going to be an uphill climb for him, even to get the opportunity to have the burst that I mean, he didn't have the same burst that he had early in his career. Nobody does at age 30 to begin with. And so now that he has had another year to rehab, it was going to take a lot of hard work for him to get to this point, and it's great to see that he is to this point where he's playing again in the NFL.
And I could vouch.
And he was already a physical specimen. He was already a physical specimen to begin with, so he had kind of a head start in that regard. And let's just remember, as much as his burst wasn't there, the desire to catch the ball, to fight for the ball, as long as he had his mental acuity together, he was one of the more dangerous receivers in the league when he was at his peak. He and Romo, they were something to behold together, and I'm still my finger still hurts from jumping up in the air after I thought he made that catch against Green Bay, and I hit my hand on the ceiling fan. That I'm still upset about that call.
And you know what?
And to this day, the NFL is paying for it.
He did make the catch, by the way. They're just the rules.
He damn sure did.
The darn rules, the anal people interpreting the rules were the ones that screwed it up.
Only with the Cowboys do they say, let's dive a little deeper into this and see what's happening here. Come on, man.
Because I'll guarantee you
they
still
don't.
Hey,
speaking of breaks.
Yes, what about it?
Speaking of breaks, we need to take a break. Everson said, give me a break, and we're going to take a break, all right? We got much to get to here on Mix Shots on a Wednesday. It's Everson and my last appearance of at least this week here on Mix Shots. It continues in a moment.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for hanging with the boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
We're back with a tasty treat that's sweeping airwaves and taste buds. It's new Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. Let's take a listen.
Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream Soda and Dr. time. Pour it in a glass of ice.
Music to my ears and mouth. New Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda.
A delicious duet.
Back to Mixed Shots.
You can now support your beloved Cowboys from anywhere. Open up AT&T's Fan Zone feature inside the Cowboys app and record your personal cheer and referee signals. You'll receive a personalized mosaic and may show up on the AT&T Live FX video board during the game. Cowboys are on the road the next couple of weeks with a game Tuesday at Baltimore, then the following Sunday at Cincinnati, and then they will return home against San Francisco the week of Christmas. It'll be December 20th. And so the week of Christmas, they'll play on Sunday, December 20th against San Francisco, and then the Sunday after Christmas against the Philadelphia Eagles. So there's your Christmas present for Cowboys fans.
I better hurry up and get my popcorn sealed taken care of.
Bill's rushing to get to the end of the season here. Jeez.
Yeah, he is. He's expecting a present.
Kind of like the Atlantic Coast Conference rushing to get to the college football playoff. Do you see that yesterday?
No. Did they cancel some more games?
They canceled games because they canceled Notre Dame's last game and Clemson's because Clemson's got to play this week. But they canceled since Notre Dame already has the tiebreaker and so forth. Even if they lost their last game, I think it would be against Wake Forest. They went ahead and told them, you know what, you don't need to play that game. You're in the ACC championship game. I mean, they are just they are punching their ticket to get a team into the college football playoff and avoid upsets, injuries, whatever they can do in order to take advantage of this situation where they've played more games than the Big Ten has. And so, in fact, they're hoping they punch their ticket to get two teams in, probably, Notre Dame and Clemson. How about that?
Yeah, because at this point, Ohio State hasn't played enough games, right?
That's right, yeah. And it's a chance that they won't get enough games in. So
Herb Street was a little bit upset yesterday because he was saying basically that teams were just tanking. They're like, look, we can play, but we're not going to play. We have decided to just opt out, basically. And those teams are opting out because either they have a lot of problems with personnel or they just say, you know what, we don't want to take the shellacking. And he was very upset about that, you know, being part of the elite at Ohio State. He can't understand that coming from some of those ACC teams, the fact that he just said they bailed. He just called it what he thought it was.
Well, Dabo accused Florida State of doing just what you said. That they canceled that game and they blamed it on COVID, but they weren't buying it.
And actually, Herb Street must have said, I didn't hear it, but he said something about Michigan last night on the college football playoff show. And I did see on Twitter that he did about a 2-minute apology to Michigan fans and said he was unfair with what he said. So.
Come on, man. Come on, Kurt. Stick with your gun. Stick with it, man. I thought he was going to man up. I was really kind of proud of him for saying it, and then now he backs off.
Yeah.
Okay, the inactive list is out for the Baltimore Ravens for this game, and they've got 2 players they list as inactive. Jake Rodgers and Brandon Williams. Tackle Jake Rodgers and defensive tackle Brandon Williams. I guess all the other ones were already ruled out because of COVID.
Well, they were already on the COVID reserve list.
On COVID reserve, that's right. And so they don't have enough players to put the normal number of players inactive. They just have 2 over the limit, I guess.
So that means they had 48.
Would just hurry up and get here.
Yeah. They had 48 players available to choose from instead of 53 or even more.
Bringing up guys from the practice squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's a shame. I'm hoping for a dilapidated roster from Baltimore so the Cowboys can get a win. This is, boy, am I desperate.
Well, the Cowboys
are
desperate.
By the way, Mickey.
Yes.
Mickey, I know how much you love fantasy football, but imagine what this is doing to fantasy football leagues, where normally the last week's games would end on a Monday night, and now this is stretched to Wednesday afternoon. I mean, normally teams are making their waiver claims and so forth on Tuesday night into Wednesday, and now the whole thing's getting pushed back this week. So
yeah.
I know that is something that concerns you greatly.
I know we're delving into this a lot, but when you start thinking about the 49ers, Spags, I have a question for you. If one of those guys, as they travel to Phoenix, and they're going to be there for like 2-3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, what if one of them end up testing positive? Do they go back to San Fran, or do they stay isolated in the Arizona area?
That one player?
Yeah, one. I don't. It doesn't. 1, 2. It doesn't matter. If anyone tests positive.
Well, they could send them home, because if they test positive, they're out 10 days, or they just leave them in the hotel room. But yeah.
No.
The problem is when you send them home. The problem is finding. Is you give them a rental car, they can go by themselves home.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, should he drive home, or what's
who's gonna pilot that plane?
Or they call the Jones Charter Service,
Yeah, they gotta have COVID Air. That's what they're gonna be dealing with.
You load them up in the cargo section and bring them home. So I would think that they would just isolate in their hotel room.
Yeah,
I would think.
I would think
like
so
that.
too. Yeah,
that'd be tough to be away from home and be isolated in a hotel room.
And by the way, along those lines, I presented when I heard that they had that issue going. I thought that the perfect scenario for San Francisco would be to come here, and they could stay at the Omni in Arlington, work out at Globe Life Park, the Rangers' old ballpark, which is now made into a football stadium, and play games here. The next 2 here again, and then they would be playing against the Cowboys the 3rd week. And apparently that was seriously considered, although they decided to go the Arizona route instead.
Yeah, it sounded like they preferred to practice in good weather outdoors. I guess they think we have winter here. And they would have hit 30-degree temperatures, but they're not practicing at night, right? Goodness gracious. So, by the way, I think I mentioned it. The Cowboys.
I guess, Mickey, hold on just a second. I guess being in California, they don't have indoor practice facilities like every high school in Texas has.
Bill
All right, go ahead, Mickey.
Bill just couldn't help himself to get that shot in about Texas football. No, I was going to say, speaking of practicing, the Cowboys were outdoors today, and Mike McCarthy termed the practice beforehand as like one that you would have coming back from a bye, since they haven't practiced since a week ago Wednesday. And so it was a lighter practice. They might have had shells on. I don't even know if they had that on. So he wanted to make sure that after sitting around, well, not sitting around, but not doing much physical activity, that they didn't have this hard practice and then guys get soft tissue injuries. He did point out that, as he said earlier, Zack Martin still going to be out a couple of weeks. They think Cam Irving may be back sooner. So from sooner, I don't know if that means, they're going to play Tuesday, Sunday. I don't know if a guy that's missed this much time can practice maybe twice during the week and be ready to play on Sunday. In Irving's case, I would imagine Zach misses all that. I also noticed that Anthony Brown was at least out on the field, but he was doing rehab work with the strength and conditioning coaches, so and the trainers. So he's still kind of hung up on those ribs. Alden Smith didn't practice. I think it was illness. We'll see when the official report comes out. Tyler Biadasz, remember, they put him on IR and he had to stay 3 weeks, but at least I saw him standing out there watching practice, so that's kind of a good sign for him. And DeMarcus Lawrence and Ezekiel Elliott worked off to the side when they were doing stretch and special teams, and they were working on the resistant cords. So anyway, that's kind of an update on what took place at practice today.
Hey, Mickey, we talk about the Ravens not practicing much here in the last couple of weeks due to their COVID outbreak. How about we go back and look at how much the Cowboys have practiced in the last month? I mean, I'm looking at the calendar here, and I'm going back to November 7th, okay? Let's see, make sure I get this right as far as the Cowboys' schedule. Over the last month, the Cowboys haven't, because they had during their bye week, they weren't able to do anything. So it was their bye week after November 8th through the 14th. They did nothing that week on the practice field, okay? So then it was the Vikings week, and they came back and they got 3 practices in that week, okay? And so then it's Thanksgiving week. And the day after the game, they're not doing much except getting loose a little bit. And then you had the Marcus Paul tragedy on last Tuesday. And so they were out on the field the 25th, the day before the game. And then they haven't practiced since then. Today was the first practice since then, December 2nd. So we're talking since November 7th, the Cowboys, and this is December 2nd, the Cowboys have had 4 practices. Am I adding that up right?
I believe
I'm pretty sure that's what it is because they had none.
You got it.
They had none during their bye week. 3 the week of the Vikings game. 1, which probably was more of a walkthrough than anything. Just the day before the game, whatever they normally do. Which is all right. So, but anyway, that's 4 practices, and now they've been off basically for a week.
Well, they might have done something.
Anyway.
They might have done something that Wednesday before the bye week took place with the 4 days in a row off. Did they do something Wednesday before that? I think
they had to shut it down.
That Wednesday
they
too?
shut it down. It was the week, the bye week. That was when the played Pittsburgh on the 8th, and they had to shut down the.
Oh, because of Pittsburgh,
where
that's
they couldn't
right.
do anything.
That's right. I forgot
because of the
about
Pittsburgh
that.
positive.
Yeah.
That's right. And so, what they had planned to do during the bye week, it was all whatever
canceled.
They did was virtual.
It got canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled on field stuff. So
Right.
they've been on the practice field really for a practice 4 times since November 7th. So that's a span of 25 days.
Here's a question for you, Spags. This is so foreign to myself as a former player. If I were to put myself in the position that they're in now as the present players. Okay, so if I'm injured, such as a Zack Martin or Cam Irving, and it's time for me to come back and practice. And so here I am, I'm still a little gimpy, been doing my little rehab and trying to stay not too active. But is it an advantage to not practice as much after you're coming off of an injury, right?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Everson, just in general, even at this point in the season, how much do they need practice?
Well, once again, because we started off the way we started, they never really got into that routine, okay? So that can be a problem for anyone that's healthy or not healthy. But if you're coming off of an injury, if I'm coming off an injury, I was blessed I didn't get hurt that much, but if I'm coming off of an injury, I don't really want to come out there and do too much, and I'm not going to be too upset if we don't have practice. Because the other part of that scenario is, Spags, if I'm hurt and I go home, or if I'm even healthy and we don't practice, they still would say, do something at home, right? I mean, they're not just laying up on their butts and sitting up chilling, right? I mean, they still should have a routine. I know if I was playing, if I know I'm not getting enough practice, I'm going to do something myself, even though they have shut down the practice field because of COVID. I'm still going to go home as a healthy person and do something to stay active. I'm still going to try to find somewhere outside to where I can work on my back pedal and things of that nature.
Everson, if I'm Andy Dalton, the last 2 days with the Stars shut down where they can't go up to the Star and do anything, I'm going to Dak Prescott's backyard. I'm getting my receivers. And Monday and Tuesday of this week, I'm out there throwing to my receivers. And I would not at all be surprised. In fact, I wish Channel 11 would have got their chopper out, and we would have got some video.
No, just a drone. A drone will do. A drone,
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we got to take a break.
And you guys would have got busted for breaking the protocols.
We got to come back and talk about that. Yeah.
All right. And,
I got to know about this.
And we have more mixed shots coming back in just a moment.
We're back with a tasty treat that's sweeping airwaves and taste buds. It's new Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. Let's take a listen.
Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream Soda and Dr. Pepper time. Pour it in a glass of ice.
Music to my ears and mouth. New Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda.
A delicious duet.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Give the gift of the Cowboys this holiday season with a membership to Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life. For a limited time, get a commemorative established 1960 lapel pin with your fan pack. Memberships start at just $20. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United to join today.
Good to know you're a journalist and that you do all your work on paper. That's nice, Stax.
All right, we got the last few minutes here. We got about 8 minutes left here on Mixed Shots. I'm watching the NFL Network feed of pregame warm-ups prior to the Ravens-Steelers game, and they are showing number 7, Trace McSorley, throwing passes in pregame. Robert Griffin III should be the starting quarterback for the Ravens. And Lamar Jackson should be back next week.
Boy, talk about a blast from the past. Oh my God, RG3.
I think I just read a note that the last time Pittsburgh lost a game, RG3 started it for Baltimore last year.
Oh, okay.
But that's when the Baltimore defense was balling and Pittsburgh didn't have Big Ben.
Right.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
Who was playing quarterback? Who was playing quarterback for Pittsburgh? It would have been Mason Rudolph.
I believe
maybe?
That probably is right.
Unless he was already suspended, he and Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, we get you ready for Cowboys and Ravens with a little Ravens-Steelers action this afternoon. And one thing we talked about, Everson, yesterday, when you look at the NFC East and the opponents for NFC East teams the next couple of weeks, and now you look at this situation that Baltimore is going through, and it'll be interesting to watch them the next 3 hours and see how they look. But believe it or not, with the Cowboys record
don't
3-8. They are sitting pretty, Everson.
I can't go through this every week, man. You're killing me. I was so upbeat last week, and then I fell into a depression, and I'm just climbing back out of bed, man. Come on, don't do me like that.
Well, we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you out because when you look at the other three teams and who they have to play, the Giants' next two games at Seattle and against Arizona. For Washington,
loss.
They're at Pittsburgh and at San Francisco, and Philadelphia's at Green Bay and New Orleans. So there's a lot of losing to go on there. Now the big question is Dallas at Baltimore and Cincinnati. Can they win two straight?
Oh my God!
Or even one straight.
Or even one straight. They might be in a tie for first place.
That's right, and then they'd be tied for first with the home game against San Francisco, and San Francisco might be the toughest game they got the rest of the way.
I hate to say it. Trust me, I hate to say it, but those New York Giants, they look really good.
Backup quarterback though.
Now who's in now?
Well, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is out this week.
He's out at least this week.
See, but by the time we play,
he'll be back.
He'll be okay. He'll be just fine. Defense is still balling, guys, and we don't know much about that here lately. But a good defense can keep a bad offense in any ball game. All you gotta do is get a little luck from there, and they have been really doing it on defense.
Hey, with the Lamar Jackson coming back for Baltimore for the Cowboys game, I mean, Daniel Jones will be back for the Giants game. I expect Joe Burrow to be back when the Cowboys play Cincinnati next week.
He'll already recovered.
And Jimmy Garoppolo will be back for the Niners.
He'll be out there in a boot or something.
Right. And Ron Jaworski will be back for the Eagles when they play them.
Hey, then I'm coming back and Ron's coming back, all right?
Well, here's the...
Nicky, what's the most important...
I was going to say, here's the hang-up on all that. When I looked at the stats, the Cowboys are giving up 156.4 yards rushing a game. And by no surprise, that's dead last in the National Football League. So we can sit here and talk all we want about, the problems they have offensively. They aren't compensating for their problems defensively. And even in the game they won against Minnesota, they gave up 28 points. They gave up more than 100 yards rushing again. Until
some good passing yards as well.
Right. Until that gets fixed, then they don't have the ability to compensate for the struggles they'll have on offense with both of those offensive tackles probably missing the next two games. And as we saw, not only do they not protect the quarterback with 4 of the 5 guys on that offensive line backups, but they are not really opening anything up to run the football either.
So that's why we always go for it on 4th down, no matter where the ball is. Is that what you're telling me?
That's my theory. And
why is that again?
He said that's why they go for it on 4th down.
That's why we always go for it on 4th down, no matter where the ball is placed.
Because we can't stop it.
That dire situation that Spagnuolo has so artfully pointed out.
And then we can throw in that they're 31st in the turnover differential with a minus 13. I believe they were 31st in giveaways with 23. And when it came to fumbles lost, they are dead last.
What about points given up?
Well, I can look that up if you guys talk amongst yourself.
I'm pretty sure we're not last because I heard them talk about some other poor team was having that problem. I can't remember who it was, but I heard that this past weekend.
Well, and they'd be 32nd in the league in giveaways if they factored in failed fake punts and failed fourth down plays into giveaways too.
But we might be leading the league in successful fake field goals and punts as well. So,
and Everson, right. You were dead right. 32nd in points given up per game.
You had to look that up, Mickey?
I needed to double check. I didn't want to just assume.
You didn't just want to dump on them. Yeah, you wanted to make sure there was a righteous dump. I got you.
Have you watched the games? There's no way another team is giving up more.
359 points in 11 games. So that's 32 point something a game they're giving up. Hard to win when your offense is struggling and your defense is doing that.
You know what, though, Mickey?
Yes.
There is hope on the horizon for you because you've got Brad Sham and Nate Newton joining you tomorrow.
I got
hope. No one's going to watch the show, Bill. No one's going to watch the show because we're not on.
That's right. Your ratings are going to tank tomorrow, Mickey.
No, if they tank, it'll be because of the person leading the show.
All right. I think we're out of time for this week. For this week for Everson and me on Mick Shots.
That's right.
We'll have to make do with the voice of the Cowboys, Brad Sham and Nate Newton tomorrow with Mickey Spagnola. Mickey, would you like the last word today?
You know what? We're going to have a bang-up show because Nate Newton is fired up to join Mick Shots once again.
All right, very good. I may or may not tune in tomorrow for Mick Shots at 1:30 on Thursday. Otherwise, have a great weekend, everybody. You too, Everson.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!